How much sleep do seniors need after 70? The best hours for longer, healthier life after 70. If you're over 70 and finding yourself awake at 3 a.m. staring at the ceiling or feeling exhausted despite spending 9 hours in bed, your body might be telling you something critical. The sleep rules you followed your entire life no longer apply. And ignoring this reality could be shortening your lifespan without you even knowing it. In this video, you'll discover the exact number of hours seniors over 70 actually need for optimal health. Why sleeping too much can be just as dangerous as sleeping too little. The specific time window when your body achieves the deepest restoration. 3 hidden sleep disruptors most doctors don't mention. And the one simple adjustment that could add years to your life. By the end, you'll know exactly how to restructure your sleep for maximum energy, sharper memory, and better overall health. The truth about sleep changes. After 70. Your body at 70 operates on a completely different biological clock than it did at 30, 40, or even 60. This isn't a malfunction or something to fix with sleeping pills. It's your body adapting to a new phase of life, and understanding this shift is the first step to sleeping better than you have in years. After 70, your brain produces significantly less melatonin, the hormone that signals it's time to sleep. Production drops by nearly 50% compared to your younger years. This explains why you might feel alert at 10 p.m. when you used to feel drowsy at 8 p.m. Your internal clock hasn't broken, it's simply recalibrated. The structure of your sleep also transforms. Deep sleep, the restorative stage where your body repairs cells and consolidates memories, decreases dramatically. Instead of spending 20% of the night in deep sleep like younger adults, most seniors over 70 spend only 5 to 10% in this crucial stage. The rest of your sleep becomes lighter and more fragmented, which is why a car door closing or your partner shifting in bed can wake you instantly. Your sleep becomes front-loaded as well. You'll likely experience your deepest, most restorative sleep in the first 3 hours after falling asleep. After that, sleep naturally becomes lighter and more interrupted. This is why many seniors wake up around 2 or 3 a.m. feeling somewhat refreshed, even though they haven't slept a full night. The circadian rhythm shifts earlier too. Your body wants to sleep earlier and wake earlier, a pattern called advanced sleep phase syndrome. Fighting this natural tendency by forcing yourself to stay awake until midnight, or sleeping in until 9 a.m., actually works against your biology and leaves you feeling worse. Temperature regulation during sleep changes as well. Your body doesn't cool down as efficiently at night, which can cause restlessness and frequent waking. Blood flow patterns shift, medication effects accumulate differently, and even your bladder signals become more urgent during nighttime hours. These changes aren't signs of decline. They're your body's intelligent response to aging, prioritizing different types of rest and recovery. The key is working with these changes, not against them, to achieve the sleep quality your body actually needs now. The optimal sleep duration for seniors over 70. The magic number for seniors over 70 isn't 8 hours, it's 7. Multiple large-scale studies tracking hundreds of thousands of older adults have found that 7 hours of sleep correlates with the lowest mortality rates, best cognitive function, and fewest chronic health problems. This isn't arbitrary, it reflects how your aging body actually processes rest. Sleeping less than 6 hours consistently puts you at higher risk. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows that seniors getting under 6 hours nightly face a 30% increased risk of heart disease, weakened immune function, and accelerated cognitive decline. Your body simply doesn't get enough time to complete essential repair processes, clear metabolic waste from the brain, or regulate hormones properly. But here's what surprises most people. Sleeping more than 8 hours regularly carries its own risks. Studies published in the Journal of the American Geriatrics Society found that seniors sleeping 9 or more hours showed higher rates of diabetes, depression, and cardiovascular issues. Excessive sleep often indicates underlying inflammation, undiagnosed sleep disorders like sleep apnea, or that your sleep quality is so poor you're compensating with quantity. The 7-hour sweet spot works because it aligns with your body's natural sleep architecture after 70. You get enough time for your body to cycle through all necessary sleep stages, complete cellular repair, process emotions and memories, and regulate critical systems like blood pressure and blood sugar, without oversleeping into the danger zone. Individual variation matters too. Some genetically fortunate seniors thrive on 6.5 hours, while others need 7.5 hours to feel their best. The key indicators are how you feel during the day. If you're alert, maintaining stable energy without afternoon crashes, thinking clearly, and not relying on multiple cups of coffee, you're likely getting the right amount. Track your sleep for 2 weeks without an alarm clock if possible. Notice when you naturally fall asleep and wake up. Calculate the average. If you're consistently landing between 6.5 and 7.5 hours and feeling good, that's your optimal duration. If you're sleeping 8 or 9 hours but still feeling foggy and tired, the problem isn't duration, it's quality, which we'll address shortly. Your medication schedule can also influence your ideal sleep duration. Blood pressure medications, antidepressants, and pain relievers all affect sleep architecture. Never adjust medications without consulting your doctor, but be aware they might be extending or fragmenting your sleep beyond what's optimal. Quality versus quantity. What matters more? You can spend 9 hours in bed and wake up exhausted, or sleep 6 hours and feel refreshed. The difference isn't how long you sleep, it's how well you sleep. For seniors over 70, quality trumps quantity every single time, and understanding why could change everything about your health. Deep sleep is where the real magic happens. During this stage, your brain flushes out beta-amyloid proteins, the toxic buildup linked to Alzheimer's disease. Your muscles repair themselves, your immune system strengthens, and growth hormone releases to heal tissues throughout your body. Without adequate deep sleep, none of this happens efficiently, regardless of how many hours you log. Here's the challenge. While younger adults spend up to 2 hours in deep sleep per night, most seniors over 70 get only 30 to 45 minutes total. This dramatic reduction means you need to maximize every minute of deep sleep you can achieve. Lying in bed for 10 hours but only getting 20 minutes of deep sleep leaves you worse off than sleeping 6 hours with 40 minutes of deep restoration. REM sleep, the dream stage, protects your cognitive abilities. This is when your brain consolidates memories, processes emotions, and clears out mental clutter. Seniors who maintain healthy REM sleep show significantly slower rates of dementia and better problem-solving abilities. Each 90-minute sleep cycle should include 15-20 minutes of REM, but poor sleep quality can cut this in half. Light sleep isn't wasted time either. It supports cardiovascular health and helps regulate metabolism. However, spending the entire night in light sleep without progressing into deeper stages leaves you feeling unrested and irritable. It's like eating only appetizers and never getting the main course your body craves. Sleep efficiency measures what percentage of your time in bed is actually spent sleeping. A healthy sleep efficiency for seniors is 85% or higher. If you're in bed for 8 hours but only sleeping 5 because you're tossing, turning, and staring at the ceiling, your efficiency is just 62%. That fragmented rest stresses your body more than sleeping solidly for 6 hours would. Waking up once or twice during the night is normal after 70 and doesn't necessarily harm sleep quality, as long as you fall back asleep within 15-20 minutes. It's the prolonged awakenings, the hour-long stretches of frustration and worry, that destroy the restorative power of your sleep. Blood oxygen levels during sleep matter tremendously. If you're experiencing breathing interruptions or low oxygen saturation, even 10 hours in bed won't provide the restoration your brain and organs need. This is why some seniors feel perpetually exhausted, despite sleeping what seems like adequate hours. Focus your energy on improving sleep quality through environment, routine, and habits, rather than obsessing over hitting a specific hour count. A solid 6 hours of efficient, deep-reaching sleep will always serve you better than 9 restless hours of shallow, interrupted rest. The best sleep schedule for seniors. Your body after 70 runs on a precise biological schedule, and fighting it makes everything harder. The ideal sleep window for most seniors over 70 falls between 9 p.m. and 4 a.m., or 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. This isn't about being old-fashioned. It's about syncing with your natural hormone production and body temperature rhythms. Your melatonin levels, though reduced, still peak earlier than they did in your younger years. Most seniors experience their strongest sleep drive between 8:30 and 10:30 p.m. Going to bed during this window allows you to capitalize on your body's natural drowsiness, making it easier to fall asleep quickly and reach deeper sleep stages faster. The hours between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. are biologically prime time for physical restoration. During these hours, your body prioritizes tissue repair, immune system strengthening, and hormone regulation. Staying awake past 11 p.m. fighting your natural tiredness means missing this critical restoration window, and you can't make it up by sleeping later in the morning. Waking between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. aligns with your cortisol awakening response, the natural spike in alertness hormones that prepares your body for the day. Trying to sleep past 7 a.m. often means fighting against rising cortisol levels, which is why those extra hours feel groggy and unrefreshing rather than restorative. Consistency matters more than most people realize. Going to bed at 9 p.m. one night and midnight the next confuses your circadian rhythm and makes quality sleep nearly impossible. Your body thrives on predictability. Maintaining the same bedtime and wake time every single day, including weekends, trains your body to anticipate sleep and wake cycles, making both easier and more efficient. Morning light exposure within 30 minutes of waking reinforces your circadian rhythm. Even 10 minutes outside or near a bright window signals your brain that daytime has begun, helping you feel more alert immediately and sleepier at the appropriate time that evening. This simple habit strengthens your entire sleep-wake cycle. Afternoon timing matters too. Avoid naps after 3 p.m., as they can interfere with nighttime sleep drive. If you need to rest, keep daytime naps to 20 to 30 minutes before 2 p.m. This brief rest can boost alertness without disrupting your ability to fall asleep at your ideal bedtime. Your evening wind down should begin 2 hours before your target bedtime. Dim the lights progressively, lower your thermostat to between 65–68 degrees Fahrenheit, and begin quieter activities. This gradual transition signals your body that sleep is approaching and helps trigger the biological processes that prepare you for rest. Meal timing influences your schedule as well. Finish dinner at least 3 hours before bed, with your last meal ideally completed by 6 or 7 p.m. Late eating keeps your digestive system active, raises core body temperature, and can cause reflux that disrupts sleep quality throughout the night. Common sleep mistakes. Seniors. The biggest sleep saboteur for seniors isn't what you'd expect. It's spending too much time in bed. Many people over 70 go to bed at 8 p.m. and stay there until 7 a.m., giving themselves an 11-hour sleep opportunity. This trains your brain to associate bed with wakefulness and frustration rather than sleep. If you need 7 hours of sleep, spend only 7.5 hours in bed, maximum. This compresses your sleep into a more consolidated, higher quality block. Drinking fluids after 6 p.m. creates a vicious cycle. You wake up multiple times to use the bathroom, fragmenting your sleep into useless chunks. Each bathroom trip pulls you out of deep sleep, and getting back into restorative stages becomes harder with each interruption. Front-load your hydration by drinking most of your water before 4 p.m., then sip minimally in the evening. Keeping your bedroom too warm destroys sleep quality silently. Your core body temperature needs to drop about 2 degrees to initiate and maintain deep sleep. Most seniors keep their bedroom at 72–75 degrees for comfort, but this prevents the necessary temperature decline. The ideal sleep temperature is 65 to 68 degrees. Yes, it feels cold initially, But this coolness is precisely what allows your body to achieve deeper, more restorative sleep stages. Using the television as a sleep aid backfires completely. The blue light suppresses what little melatonin your body still produces, and the stimulating content keeps your brain in an alert state. Even worse, the unpredictable volume changes from commercials can jolt you awake just as you're drifting off. If you need sound, use a white noise machine or fan instead. Taking long naps to compensate for poor nighttime sleep creates a devastating feedback loop. That 2-hour afternoon nap reduces your sleep pressure, making it nearly impossible to fall asleep at a reasonable hour that night. You end up awake until 1 a.m., exhausted the next day, and reaching for another long nap. Break this cycle by limiting naps to 20 minutes maximum. Reading or working on your laptop in bed conditions your brain to see the bedroom as an activity space rather than a sleep sanctuary. Your brain needs a clear association. Bed equals sleep only. Do your reading in a chair and only get into bed when you're truly ready to sleep. Alcohol as a nightcap seems helpful because it makes you drowsy, but it's one of the worst sleep destroyers. Alcohol prevents REM sleep and causes middle-of-the-night waking once it metabolizes. That glass of wine at 8 p.m. might help you fall asleep by 10 p.m., but it guarantees you'll be wide awake at 2 a.m. with no ability to fall back into quality sleep. Checking the clock when you wake up creates anxiety that makes falling back asleep impossible. Each glance at 2:47 a.m., then 3:23 a.m., then 4:15 a.m. builds frustration and stress. Turn your clock away from view. If you can't see the time, you can't obsess over how much sleep you're losing. Warning signs: you're not getting enough sleep. Your body sends clear distress signals when sleep deprivation accumulates, but most seniors dismiss these warnings as normal aging. They're not. Recognizing these signs early can prevent serious health consequences down the road. Increased clumsiness and frequent stumbling are red flags. When you're sleep deprived, your reaction time slows dramatically and your spatial awareness deteriorates. If you're bumping into door frames, misjudging distances, or experiencing more near falls than usual, inadequate sleep is likely compromising your motor control and balance systems. Persistent difficulty finding words during conversation signals cognitive strain from sleep debt. You know exactly what you want to say, but the word sits just out of reach. This isn't dementia. It's your exhausted brain struggling to access memory networks efficiently. Sleep deprivation impairs the connections between memory storage and retrieval, making everyday communication frustratingly difficult. Unusual irritability and emotional volatility indicate your emotional regulation system is failing. Small annoyances that wouldn't normally bother you suddenly feel intolerable. You snap at loved ones, feel tearful over minor setbacks, or experience waves of anxiety without clear triggers. Sleep deprivation shuts down the prefrontal cortex, the brain region responsible for managing emotions appropriately. Constant hunger and unexpected weight gain reveal metabolic disruption. Poor sleep throws your hunger hormones completely off balance, increasing ghrelin, which signals hunger, and decreasing leptin, which signals fullness. You find yourself craving sugary or starchy foods, even after eating a full meal. Many seniors gain weight not from overeating consciously, but because sleep deprivation hijacks their appetite control. Worsening chronic pain suggests inflammation is escalating unchecked. Sleep is when your body produces anti-inflammatory compounds and repairs damaged tissues. Without adequate rest, arthritis pain intensifies, old injuries ache more severely, and general body discomfort increases. If your pain levels have crept up gradually without obvious cause, sleep quality deserves investigation. Memory lapses beyond normal forgetfulness become frequent. You walk into rooms and completely forget your purpose. You retell the same story to someone you just told yesterday. You miss appointments despite writing them down. Sleep deprivation prevents memory consolidation, so experiences never properly transfer from short-term to long-term storage. Weakened immunity shows up as frequent infections. You catch every cold circulating, minor cuts take longer to heal, and infections that you'd normally fight off easily linger for weeks. During deep sleep, your immune system produces infection-fighting antibodies and cytokines. Chronic sleep loss leaves your defenses compromised and vulnerable. High blood pressure that suddenly becomes harder to control often traces back to sleep problems. Sleep regulates cardiovascular function, and deprivation keeps your blood pressure elevated throughout the day. If your previously stable readings are creeping upward despite medication compliance, investigate your sleep patterns immediately. Natural solutions to improve sleep. After 70 magnesium supplementation addresses one of the most common deficiencies affecting senior sleep. About 70% of older adults don't get enough magnesium, which is essential for activating the parasympathetic nervous system that calms your body for sleep. Take 300 to 400 mg of magnesium glycinate, the most absorbable form, about 90 minutes before bed. Within 2 weeks, most people notice significantly easier sleep onset and fewer nighttime awakenings. Progressive muscle relaxation breaks the tension cycle that keeps you awake. Starting with your toes, deliberately tense each muscle group for 5 seconds, then release completely. Move upward through your calves, thighs, abdomen, chest, arms, and face. This technique physically drains residual stress from your body and signals your nervous system that it's safe to enter sleep mode. It takes only 10 minutes and works when nothing else does. The 4-7-8 breathing method triggers your body's relaxation response instantly. Breathe in through your nose for 4 counts, hold for 7 counts, then exhale completely through your mouth for 8 counts. Repeat 4 times. This pattern increases oxygen in your bloodstream, slows your heart rate, and activates sleep-promoting neurotransmitters. Use it when you first lie down or if you wake during the night. Tart cherry juice consumed twice daily naturally boosts melatonin production. Drink 4 ounces in the morning and 4 ounces 2 hours before bed. Montmorency tart cherries contain high concentrations of melatonin precursors that help compensate for your body's declining production. Studies show this simple addition can increase sleep duration by 84 minutes on average. Weighted blankets provide deep pressure stimulation that reduces cortisol and increases serotonin, creating optimal conditions for sleep. Choose one that's 10% of your body weight. The gentle, constant pressure mimics a therapeutic hug, calming anxiety and restlessness that often plague senior sleep. Most users report falling asleep faster and waking less frequently. Cognitive shuffle technique occupies your racing mind without stimulating it. Pick a random word, like garden, then visualize objects starting with each letter: G for giraffe, A for airplane, R for radio. When you exhaust one letter, move to the next. This mundane mental task prevents anxious thoughts from taking over while being boring enough to allow sleep to creep in naturally. Foot warming before bed exploits your body's thermoregulation system. Wear thick socks or use a heating pad on your feet for 20 minutes before sleep. Warming your extremities dilates blood vessels and redistributes heat away from your core, triggering the core temperature drop necessary for deep sleep initiation. Valerian root tea acts as a mild sedative without the hangover effects of sleeping pills. Steep 1 tea bag in hot water for 10 minutes and drink 30 minutes before bed. Valerian increases GABA levels in your brain, the neurotransmitter responsible for calming neural activity. It's gentle, non-addictive, and becomes more effective with consistent use over 2 to 4 weeks. When to consult a doctor: loud snoring followed by silent pauses and gasping indicates sleep apnea, a serious condition where breathing repeatedly stops during sleep. This starves your brain of oxygen and dramatically increases stroke and heart attack risk. If your partner reports these patterns, or you wake with headaches and extreme fatigue despite hours in bed, demand a sleep study immediately. Restless leg syndrome that prevents sleep onset requires medical evaluation. Uncontrollable urges to move your legs, especially with crawling or tingling sensations, often signal iron deficiency, kidney problems, or nerve damage. These aren't just annoying, They're symptoms of treatable underlying conditions. Sudden changes in sleep patterns warrant immediate attention. If you've slept reasonably well for years but suddenly can't fall asleep or stay asleep for more than 2 weeks straight, this could indicate depression, thyroid dysfunction, or other hormonal imbalances requiring treatment. Excessive daytime sleepiness despite adequate nighttime sleep suggests narcolepsy or medication side effects. Falling asleep involuntarily during conversations or activities isn't normal and needs professional assessment before it causes dangerous situations. The difference between surviving and thriving after 70 often comes down to those 7 hours of quality sleep. When you finally align your sleep with your body's natural rhythms, the transformation is profound. Your mind sharpens, memories become clearer, and that mental fog lifts. Your energy stabilizes throughout the day without the crashes and desperate need for caffeine. Chronic pain diminishes as inflammation decreases. Your mood brightens, patience returns, and relationships improve because you're no longer running on fumes. Proper sleep doesn't just add years to your life, it adds life to your years. It's the difference between spending your 70s, 80s, and beyond truly living, traveling, engaging with family, pursuing hobbies, versus merely existing in a state of exhaustion. The power to make this change is entirely in your hands, starting tonight. If this video helped you understand your sleep needs better, hit that like button and share it with someone who's struggling with sleep after 70. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video, where we'll reveal the 5 foods that are secretly destroying senior sleep and the 3 surprising alternatives that promote deeper rest. Your best sleep in years is just one video away.